12. Anna Cassie. Inspired interpretation. Anna Cassie, known from one end of our land to the other in song recital, is surely 100% American. She was born in the little state of New Jersey and received her entire vocal training right here in New York City of a single teacher. No running about from one instructor to another, getting points from each for this singer. She knew from the first moment that she had found the right teacher, one who understood her, what she wanted to do, and could bring her to the goal. And when one has discovered just the right person to develop talent, one should have the good sense and loyalty to stick to that person. This is exactly what Miss Case has done, for along with other gifts, she has the best gift of all, common sense. Madame Oster-Renard has been my only teacher, she says. Whatever I am or have accomplished, I owe entirely to her. She has done everything for me. I feel she is the most wonderful teacher in the world. A life of constant travel and almost daily concerts and recitals lies before Miss Case from early in the autumn to the end of spring, with but a few breathing places here and there between the tours when she returns home to rest up. During one of these oases, it was a pleasant experience to meet and talk with the charming young singer in her cozy New York apartment. She had just come in from a 6-week trip, which had included concerts in Texas and Mexico, where the usual success had attended her everywhere. It must surely give a sense of relief to know that the quiet home is awaiting one's return, that there are to be found one's favorite books, music, piano, the silken divan, soft lights, pictures, all the familiar comforts one is deprived of on the road. The visitor, coming in from the biting winds without, was impressed with the comfort and warmth of the small salon as the mistress of it entered. Clad in soft draperies of dull blue, which but thinly veiled the white arms and fell away from the rounded throat, Miss Case was just as beautiful to look upon as when she stands in bewildering evening gown before a rapt audience. And, what is much more to the point, she is a thoroughly sensible, sincere American girl, with no frills and no nonsense about her. After greetings were over, the singer settled herself among the silken cushions of her divan ready for our talk. I believe I always wanted to sing, rather than do anything else in the way of music. I studied the piano a little at first, but that did not exactly appeal to me. I also began the violin, because my father is fond of that instrument and wanted me to play it. But the violin was not just what I wanted either, for all the time I longed to sing. Singing is such a part of one's very self. I wanted to express myself through it. I had no idea, when I started, that I should ever make a specialty of it, or that, in a comparatively few years, I should be singing all over the country. I did not know what was before me. I only wanted to learn to sing. Now I cannot tell just how I do the different things one must do to sing correctly. I know that, if I have to master some subject, I just sit down and work at that thing till I can do it, till it is done. My teacher knows every organ in the anatomy and can describe the muscles, bones, and ligaments found in the head, face, and throat. She can make a diagram of the whole or any part. Not that such knowledge is going to make a singer, but it may help in directing one's efforts. Tone placement. Can you describe tone placement? She was asked. For the deeper tones, as one makes them, they seem to come from lower down. For the middle and higher tones, you feel the vibrations in facial muscles and about the eyes, always focused forward, just at the base of the forehead, between the eyes. It is something very difficult to put into words. The sensations have to be experienced when making the tones. The singer must judge so much from sensation, for she cannot very well hear herself. I do not really hear myself. I mean by this I cannot tell the full effect of what I am doing. When to practice? No doubt you do much practice, or is that now necessary? Miss Case considered this thoughtfully. I never practice when I am tired, for then it does more harm than good. It is much better for the voice to rest and not use it at all, than to sing when not physically fit. One must be in good condition to make good tones. They will not be clear and perfect if one is not strong and in good health. I can really study, yet not sing at all. For the whole work is mental anyway. Using full voice. When I work on the interpretation of a song, in the quiet of my music room here, I try to sing it just as I would before an audience. I have not two ways of doing it. One way for a small room and another for a large one. If your tone placement is correct and you are making the right effects, they will carry equally in a large space. At least this is my experience. But, she added, smiling, you may find other artists who would not agree to this, who would think quite differently. Each one must see things her own way, and singing is such an individual thing after all. The subject of interpretation. The interpretation of a role or song is everything, of course. What are mere notes and signs compared to the thoughts expressed through them? Yet it is evident there are people who don't agree to this, for one hears many singers who never seem to look deeper than the printed page. They stand up and go through their songs, but the audiences remain cold. They are not touched. The audiences are blamed for their apathy or indifference, but how can they be warmed when the singer does not kindle them into life? To me, there is a wonderful bond of sympathy between the audience and myself. I feel the people, in a sense, belong to me, are part of my family. To them I pour out all my feelings, my whole soul. All the sorrow of the sad songs, all the joy of the gay ones, they share with me. In this spirit I come before them. They feel this, I am sure. It awakens a response at once, and this always inspires me. I put myself in a receptive mood. It has the desired effect. My interpretation becomes inspired through their sympathy and my desire to give out to them. The words of a song paramount. I feel the greatest thing about a song is the words. They inspired the music, they were the cause of its being. I cannot imagine, when once words have been joined to music, how other words can be put to the same music without destroying the whole idea. The words must be made plain to the audience. Every syllable should be intelligible and understood by the listener. I feel diction is so absolutely essential. How can a singer expect the audience will take an interest in what she is doing if they have no idea what it is all about? And this applies not only to English songs, but to those in French as well. In an audience there will be many who understand French. Shall the singer imagine she can pronounce a foreign tongue in any old way, and it will go in these days? No, she must be equally careful about all diction and see that it is as nearly perfect as she can make it, that it is so correct that anybody can understand every word. When she can do this, she has gone a long way toward carrying her audience with her when she sings. When the diction is satisfactory, there is yet something much deeper. It is the giving out of one's best thought, one's best self, which must animate the song and carry it home to the listener. It touches the heart because it comes from one's very inmost being. I am a creature of mood. I cannot sing unless I feel like it. I must be inspired in order to give an interpretation that shall be worth anything. Growth of appreciation. In traveling over the country, I have found such wonderful musical growth, and it seems to increase each year. Even in little places, the people show such appreciation for what is good. And I only give them good music, the best songs, both classical and modern. Nothing but the best would interest me. In my recent trip, down in Mexico and Oklahoma, there are everywhere large halls, and people come from all the country round to attend a concert. Men who look as though they had driven a grocery wagon, or, like occupation, sit and listen so attentively and with such evident enjoyment. I am sure the circulation of the phonograph records has much to do with America's present wonderful advancement in musical understanding. Just here a large cat slipped through the doorway, such a beautiful creature, with long gray and white fur and big blue eyes. It is a real chinchilla of high degree, said Miss Case, caressing her pet. I call her Fauchette. I am so fond of all animals, especially dogs and cats. You must know the country well, having been over it so much. Yes, but, oh, the long distances. It often takes so many hours to go from one place to another. I think there is a reason why foreign singers are apt to be rather stout. They are not worn out by traveling great distances, as cities are so much nearer together than over here. And Miss K smiled in amusement. But, in spite of all discomforts of transportation and so on, the joy of bringing a message to a waiting audience is worth all it costs. I often think, if one could just fly to Chicago or Philadelphia, for instance, sing one's program and return just as quickly, without all these hours of surface travel, how delightful it would be. I had a wonderful experience in an airplane last summer. Flying has the most salutary effect on the voice. After sailing through the air for a while, you feel as though you could sing anything and everything. The exhilaration is so great. One takes in such a quantity of pure air that the lungs feel perfectly clear and free. One can learn a lesson about breathing from such an experience. Before parting, a final question was asked. What, in your opinion, are the vital requisites necessary to become a singer? Almost instantly came the reply. Brains, personality, voice. With this cryptic answer, we took leave of the fair artist.